Hine mato Tonight we pray completely. Shelter us with love so sweetly. Tonight, please fight the dangers from our eyes. Please, God, protect me from sorrow. Again.
ובצהלה תוך אמוני העם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה
Be the light inside the darkness, be the hope, burning bright into the night, be the voice, for those who cannot raise it, be the one who leads the way, through the world's darkest days, be the light. Be the light, be the light. When days feel long and all that's left inside you our darkest days, reach for the light to guide you. The miracle of change begins with sparks of light we find within that shine. Transform darkness into light, to lead with love instead of might. We shine, we shine. Be the light, be the light inside the darkness, be the hope, burning bright into the night, be the voice, for those who cannot raise it, be the one who leads the way, through the world's darkest day, be the light, be the light. Be the light. Be the light. Be the light. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Sing with us. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Try with us. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Umevorach. Shabbat Shalom. Umevorach. Shir Hamalot. Beshuv Adonai. Et Shivat Zion. Hayinu kecholmim. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue. That song really makes me think of camp.
Really does.
Absolutely, at least when I went to camp. And the second song that I wanted to start with, which just for me paints the picture of walking into Shabbat, is Ma'afeh Hayom. How beautiful it is, this Shabbat that we get.
So beautiful.
So if you know Ma'afeh Hayom, or even if you don't, please sing with us. Ma'afeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma'afeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Try that again with me. Ma'afeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma'afeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom again. I'm Rabbi Adam Lutz, joined by Cantor, Lizzie, Weiss. We have Bill on the keyboard over here, who's providing us with the beautiful piano underneath. And we want to welcome you to Temple Emanuel, those of you who are here in person, those of you who are joining us virtually. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As Cantor Weiss alluded to just a moment ago, tonight we are trying to bring in the magic of camp, of Jewish summer camp. So we've chosen some of, I think, our favorite melodies, and a couple new ones maybe, sort of.
Yeah,
we're going to bring in the magic with all of this, all of these melodies tonight for our Shabbat services, and we have a couple special guests who I will introduce in a moment or two. But we really wanted to, promote the amazing experience of all of our URJ Jewish summer camps that all of our kids can go to, but actually you can be on staff if you're a young adult too. So really we want to welcome everyone in, and if you know anyone who is available to come to camp, let us know, or one of our friends know, who I'll introduce in just a moment. But to help us bring in Shabbat, of course we have to light our candles. We want to bring in the light of Shabbat, and tonight, I guess in her role of as the chair of 6 Points West, we invite Sue Brucker to come and Barry too. All right, come on, Barry, to help us light our Shabbat candles.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you. We'll hear a little bit more from Sue later.
So now I would like to invite up Danny Hertz, Director of 6 Points Sports Academy, to help us with our Hazarat HaShavua, our review of the week.
Thank you, Rabbi. Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. They say that life is made up of moments, and these moments can change your life in an instant. Moments happen in different forms, and over the last week we've seen in various news stories these moments. We've seen moments and stories from the FDA. We've seen moments and stories about police brutality. We've seen a lot of COVID policies changing. We've seen a lot in the news. As we enter into Shabbat together tonight, we're about to have a special moment right here in our backyard in Southern California. A sports moment is about to happen on Sunday night as we celebrate the Super Bowl. And the moments that happen on Sunday will indelibly be memories for so many people. Tonight, I prefer that we not focus on memories, but on moments. And these moments that leave you wanting more of the moments. Those moments should be when we come across and find our people, our chavruta. Those moments should be when we figure out what our passion is in life and what we love to do. Those moments should also be when we figure out not only what that passion is, but how do we do more of that passion. And those moments should be in life when we find our place, our Mount Sinai. And let me tell you something. These moments are not just about us as adults. Kids know when they're going through these moments. Kids know that these moments matter. They feel them. It's inside of them. These moments matter to kids. One of the reasons I feel so strongly that I have the best job in America as a Jewish specialty camp director is I get to see the face of 800 plus kids each summer who come to camp and experience these moments. The face of a young Jewish athlete when she or he realizes that they're going through one of these moments. These moments build Jewish identity in young people. And these moments happen when they walk through the door and they realize that yes, they're an athlete, and yes, they're Jewish, and yes, both of those live together and can live successfully together. And these moments realize inside of them when they find their people who have those same passions. These moments happen and they start to feel like they are a member of the big time when they see their NCAA level coach. They feel like they're in heaven when they see those sports facilities. And they feel the moment when Shabbat comes upon us and we dress in white and have a strong community of Jewish athletes. These moments matter. And for all of us here tonight as Jewish leaders, we must do everything possible to build up to those moments and give young people more opportunities to experience those moments. So, while sure, we look back in a week in review, and we saw some moments, and we saw some stories, and we saw some memories perhaps. But life changes in moments. Let's all be a part of creating those moments. Sure, for me at 6 Points Sports Academy, it happens Jewishly combined with sports. But together, we can make those moments happen and build Jewish identity through the magic of summer camp. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We pause for a moment for each of us to reflect on our past week as we enter into Shabbat. We pause for Hazarat HaShavua.
are in the sanctuary. We are on page 20, I believe 20. Some of the melodies we've done have been from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. This one is by Alana Arian. You have all heard this Lechato D, and I think it's important to recognize that artists like Alana Arian are not just providing music in temple, but at camps too, and she is a product of camp herself. And actually, you can see her perform tomorrow night, I just realized, here in LA. But here we go, Lechato D, join us, page 20. Lechato D, likra kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lechato D, likra kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, Hashem u'tiferet v'li tehillah. Lechato di likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lechato di likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki va'orech kumi uri, uri uri, shir daveri, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lechato di likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lechato di likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
We rise and face the entrance to greet the Sabbath bride.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'sohola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala, lechato di likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lechato di likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated.
I'm going to take a moment before we do the Baruch Hu. Actually, I'm going to signal you can take down the prayer. There we go. So, Rabbi Lutz,
Yeah,
did you go to sleepover camp?
I did.
Jewish sleepover camp?
Well, I am a rabbi, so chances are,
Yeah. Good point. Okay, did you go to Camp Swig?
I did not.
Camp Newman?
No.
I didn't know like any other camps existed.
Yeah, okay, I see where you're going here. I know right now all that really matters are the URJ camps, specifically the 6 Points camps.
Yes.
So,
That's
you know,
true.
that's what's really important tonight.
That's true. Now I'm daydreaming.
Uh-huh. What about?
What did you look like when you went to camp?
What do you mean? I looked exactly like I do right now.
I'm sure. Okay, so I'm just going to close my eyes for a few seconds, and I'm going to try and imagine. Everyone should try and imagine what Rabbi Lutz looked like.
Let me see if I can
when he
if we
went to
can
camp.
conjure a picture of me from my time at camp.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah, like that.
There
Can
he
anyone
is.
figure out which one is me?
He's the one on the
Yeah,
the only one with the red hair.
the
let's be
gangly one with the
honest.
red hair on the
The
far
gang-
right.
The gangly one with the red hair. Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah, well, okay, so we saw one of me, now we have to see one of you.
Okay.
Should we conjure one of you?
Yeah. Let me think of one that makes me look as cool as I felt in 11th grade. Look, I was cool. Do you guys see me? If you're seeing from home, you can see better than if you're in the sanctuary. But there I am. I got to hold the sign.
Uh-huh.
You see that?
I do.
Do you know why?
Why did you get to hold the sign?
Because when you're short, you get to hold the sign in front. So that was me in 2001, 11th grade, at Camp Newman. For my second summer at that camp. I was at Swig before that. But that was avodah, where your parents pay for you to clean up camp. Actually,
It's pretty
you might
special.
see some other familiar faces there, but I'm going to point those out in a second. If you see in the top row, there's Ari Vered. For those camp people who are knowledgeable about camp, there's Ari Vered. Yep, that's my claim to fame, is that I went to camp with him.
I mean, it's pretty cool. Actually, the script here says I'm supposed to tell you that you look really cool. You do. You look really cool.
That's why I wrote the script. I needed some help there. Okay. Well, I mean, this is your line.
Is it my line? Okay. Well, I'm going to show you one now where I look really cool. So let's show the picture of where. Yeah. There it is. Yep.
Wow. And you're in Shabbat Whites.
I am in my Shabbat Weiss.
You know, well, the script tells me to tell you that you also seem really cool.
Yeah, I'm really, really cool. Well, see, that's kind of the fun of camp, actually, is that camp can turn even the nerdiest of us into people who are really cool.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, I always felt really, really special at camp. One of my fondest was at Camp Swig, when I gathered with my siblings and my best friends, and we spent 3 weeks building this magnificent stained glass window that now resides at Camp Newman. I believe I heard it made it through the fire, and hopefully one day. Yes, that is Richie Brucker in the bottom row there. My triplet siblings are in there somewhere too. And that was one of the most unbelievable experiences with the plaque Zwiebacks making that stained glass window. So
It's beautiful.
This is just one example of just things that definitely
You can do at camp.
Shaped my life for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And even actually some of my best friends to this day are my friends from camp. Actually, one of my groomsmen at my wedding was a bunkmate of mine when I was at camp. Again, that's me on the right, that's him on the left. Actually, he just had his first baby a couple weeks ago. We're still very close, even though we live on other sides of the country.
And you met at camp.
We
That's
did.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, there were nothing like the services of camp, prayers of camp, music of camp, and it sustained me. And it's where I really learned to love Jewish music.
Yeah, and it's where I learned that Jewish community was where I felt most at home. And actually, one of the most powerful moments at camp is the moment, actually right before Shabbat happens, where the entire camp sort of comes together, dressed in all of its whites, and marches to the prayer services, to tefillah. And then we sort of all share in this moment that we are going to share in all together in just a second in the Baruch Hu, and this whole camp, all in white, stands to really be called to prayer every single Shabbat.
So this is a picture, actually, just of the summer before the fires at Camp Newman when I was on faculty. And I remember hiking up to get that picture because nothing could explain camp quite like a picture of those trees and everyone there in white. So nothing calls me to prayer like that, right?
That's truly true. So speaking of which, we invite you to rise in body or spirit for our call to prayer, Baruch Hu, which, if you're here in person, is on page 28.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai yai lai lai lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
be seated. We continue with Shema, which is found on page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
We continue with our song of freedom, Micha Mocha, the prayer that we all sang after we crossed over to freedom, page 40.
And I just want to everyone to imagine my first summer at Camp Swig, walking onto the Bema Lawn, 1993, and there was Debbie Friedman playing this song. So that is the most vivid experience I have of camp, and trying to bring that to life today.
Love it.
If I can, just a little bit. Yai lai lai ya lai la 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 lai. Yai lai la lai la 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 lai. Yai lai la lai ya lai la 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 lai. Yai lai lai ya la 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 lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osei fele, Nora tehilot osei fele. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Elianu ve'amru, Ze Elianu ve'amru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
So if one of your most memorable moments was Micha Mocha with Debbie, one of mine was most nights at camp, you're away from the city, and the stars are just amazing. You can see stars, especially growing up here in Los Angeles, that you really never ever get to see. And I remember many a summer night at camp actually laying out and just watching stars and meteor showers. And we sang every night before we went to bed the prayer Hashkivenu, that God would look over us as we slept, that those stars up above were watching us as we slept. So we continue with this prayer Hashkivenu about God's shelter over us, which can be found on page 42.
I think it's fair to say that there are probably many summers that many people in this room, that certainly we sat at different camps, looking up at the stars, singing this version of Hashkivenu, written by Matovu, the group, but Yoshi Zweiback and Ken Chasen. Now, rabbis at Stephen S. Weiss and Leo Beck.
Yeah.
And this lives on for sure.
Forever.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom. Vehamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. from all harmful things. Oh, Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right. Oh, Adonai. Sing with us, amen. 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 Again, amen. 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 Amen.
We take this moment to think about those in our lives who are in need of healing. Need of healing of body, mind, soul, or spirit. And we offer a mishaberach l'refuah, mishaberach of healing for those loved ones in our lives in this moment. We'll sing the first verse together, and then we'll pause, and I will motion around the room for you to share the names of any loved ones this evening who you would like to wish for a prayer of healing. If you are online, we invite you to start writing in chat those names, and we'll read them as well. Mishaberach is found on page 253. Pray for healing for Moshe Hillel ben Abraham, Shirley Block, Jean Claude Barrett, Shalom Bluestein, Bernard Birnbaum, Woody Clark, Pearl Councilbaum, Tamara DeVerel, Norma Glickman, Patty Goodman, Andy Hale, Helene Hale, Dora Kamara, Ira Laufer, Marissa Bat Yaakov Reuven Verivka Adina, Daniel Papp, Rachel Bat Chana V'Chaim, Rachamim Ben Avraham V'Leah, Harav Aharona Bat Siva V'Yosef, Warren Rostin, Ruth Schwartz, Rhoda Sharp, David Stein, Paula Warner, Nessa Weinman, Julie White, Sonia Ann Wedge, Theodore, Chaya Rachel Bat Carmi Adina, Morris Casuto, and online.
Gloria DiPietro, Harold Girder, Melissa Klein, Andy and Helene Hale, Lois Lebman, Rita Newman, Lupe Diaz and family, Rabbi Mendy, Hazel, Sequenza, the Barbie family, Audrey and Judith, Rosa Maria Pantano, Cliff Aaron, Ruth Batista, Isabel Montero, Andrea Reisberg, Margie Reisberg, Laura Heshon, Dwight West, Arun Kunt, Jeff H. Harav Yisrael Gadal Ben Batya, Simon, Susan Ellis, Ziba Faruzan, Ruth Bordian, Elizabeth Lopez, Talbe Raisel Bat Chaya Meir, Mart Jan Mike, Mindel Ruchel Bat Raisel, David Yaffe, Shlomo Yaffe, Sherman Stein, and John Healy, students and staff of Luis Munoz Rivera Middle School in Trenton, New Jersey, and Nechama Ziva Yehudit Esther.
As we are about to move into the Amidah, to Tefillah, the central part of our worship, we invite you to try to find a moment of magic. Maybe you went to camp as a kid. Maybe you are a kid and you go to camp. Maybe you've never been to camp, but there is a piece of magic that you feel, a piece of warmth that you feel about some experience that you've had with Jewish community in your life. We invite you to hold on to that feeling. That is the feeling of camp. As we move into the Amidah, a moment we will rise together, we will sing Adonai Sefatai Tiftach. We will ask God to open our mouths and our hearts that we might declare God's glory. And then we will silently continue on our own to really feel that warmth tonight as we bring in Shabbat. We turn to page 46 for the Amidah, and I invite you to rise in body or spirit.
Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Hagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Hagid Tehilatecha. continue with, you may be seated when you're done, with this song, Modim, song of gratitude. Actually, the first song that became my one-hit wonder, Camp Newman, I sang this for 8 years probably straight, starting in 4th grade after Silent Amidah at Camp Swig. It means a lot to me. This is Modim on page 58 if you're in the sanctuary. Modim anachnu lach she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu Velohei avoteinu ve'imotenu leolam va'ed Sur chayenu magen yishenu Atahu ledor vador Sur chayenu magen yishenu Atahu ledor vador Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam Ki atahu melech adon Umelech adon lechol hashalom Sur chayenu magen yishenu Atahu ledor vador Sur chayenu magen yishenu Atahu ledor vador Atahu ledor vador.
We'd like to invite to the Bima Jordana Flores, director of 6 Points West, to share with us some words of Torah.
Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
Do we got it? We good? All right, one more time.
Okay, thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm going to share with you two different thoughts I wanted to share. One is why camp works, and the other is to share with you a story because, I'm sorry, Adam and Lizzie, but I think the best part of Shabbat services are the stories. But a moment of personal privilege because I'm so thrilled to be at Temple Emanuel tonight where I grew up, and I love standing in the spot where I had my bar mitzvah. And the parsha that I got to read on my bat mitzvah was the 10 Commandments, and I thought it was just so nice of Temple Emanuel to put it up on the wall, really big, so thank you for not taking that down when y'all redecorate it. I appreciate it, my parsha. But it is really special for me to be here in this room and where I fell in love with Shabbat stories in the chapel just across the way when I was going here to Jewish day school. So thank you for having me. Okay, that was my moment of personal privilege. So I love hearing everyone talk about their time at camp and see the pictures. And whenever you hear people talk about camp, you hear words like magic and my best friends and these feelings, but it's really hard to kind of hold in your hand what exactly is going on at camp and why you should send your children and frankly spend all that money on something that seems like, well, it's just a fun thing to keep them busy while they're not in school. So as the grown-up at camp, I can tell you exactly why it has this impact and why it works. So it happens to exactly line up with adolescent brain development. So we are your partners in launching successful adults, because this is a place where you can send them, and it really only does work because you parents are not there. I'm sorry to tell you. But when you're not there, your kids get to prove to themselves that they can do hard things. And as adults, we need to practice being tired, cold, hungry, lonely, sad. It's kind of like ice skating. You can't learn how to do those things by just hearing about them. You actually have to do them. At camp, you get to practice those things. You get to make what we call cheap mistakes, ones that aren't very costly. And it actually, research has shown that going away to camp and being in an environment, a safe environment where you can make cheap mistakes, lowers the chances of making more costly experimental mistakes later in life. And it's a place where you can have edgy experiences. So we call those the experiences that happen on the edge of your comfort zone, where you get to try things that they wouldn't try if you were there, parents, but they do try at home. So when we hear about how we made these best friends and they were groomsmen in your wedding, why does that happen? Because we're in this safe environment. We can feel like we are our most authentic selves. And then when we make friends, when we're in that state of mind, that's why they are so meaningful and so lifelong. And the learning that we do in that environment and the Judaism that we expose them to when they're in that environment and when they're in that state of mind is why camp works. Okay, I just pulled back the curtain for you. So the camp that I get to be the grown-up at is 6 Points West, and that is a cousin of Temple Emanuel because we are all part of the Reform movement. So in California, you're very lucky. You have 2 camps in California. You have Camp Newman in Northern California, where Cantor, Lizzie went, and all of her friends and siblings. And that is a general camp where you get to try a little bit of everything. And it's in Northern California, which means you have an extra adventure built in because camp starts at the airport, and we all fly on a plane together. 6 Points West is here in Southern California, and that is for kids who want to focus, specialty focus camp on science and technology or on the arts. So this going away thing sounds fun, this camp thing sounds fun, but I don't want a little bit of everything because I know I really love fill in the blanks, robotics, video game design, chemistry, marine biology, or I really love the arts. I love being on stage. I love drawing and painting. Fashion design is something we have this summer, and also circus arts. Yes, we're putting on a circus. I know, we're very excited. Okay, so that is the camp that I get to be the leader of. Okay, it's time for me to tell a story, my favorite part. You have to know 2 things about this story before I start. So back in olden times, they used to think that your intelligence and your creativity was not in your brain, where we think it is now, but in your heart. Okay, so you have to remember that for the story. The other thing is that I'm not going to tell you the ending. So at 6 Points West, where we are artists and innovators and scientists, we really like to look at things in a different way. Innovation is seeing not what is, but what could be. So we like to tell stories that have a little bit of a twist and where you have to think creatively. So I'm not going to tell you the ending, but after services, if you want to test your ending out on me, maybe the folks online could email Rabbi Adam and Cantor Lizzie and see if you can think of a way that this story would end. Okay, so when the world was young, legend has it that the ruler of all the world was the Leviathan. The Leviathan was an enormous sea creature who had sparkling, shimmering, golden scales on his body and a huge, enormous tail. And one thrash of this huge tail would just send all the seas roiling. Everyone was kind of scared of him, respected him. In Hebrew, we call this norah, a little bit of awe, a little bit of fear, a little bit of respect. Everyone felt that way about this giant Leviathan, except for one, the fox. The fox, of course, you know, was the most sly, the most clever creature. he really didn't have time for the Leviathan. So the Leviathan heard about this creature who didn't really respect him. So he wanted to meet this fox. So he threw a huge feast at his undersea palace. And of course, everybody came. You don't turn down an invitation from the Leviathan. The gorilla, the giraffe, the monkeys, all the fish, everybody attended, except, guess who? The fox. Yes, no time for Leviathan, no time for parties. And the Leviathan had thought, well, I mean, if this fox is so clever, maybe he could be my advisor, maybe he could be my assistant, and his cleverness could work for me, and I could not only be powerful, but I could also have his cleverness. Well, when he didn't show up for the party, the Leviathan was plenty mad. So he sent 2 of his henchmen, the sea bass and the swordfish, out to go find this fox and bring him back to the palace. Now, the sea bass and the swordfish were not 2 of the smartest fish in the sea, but that's who was sent on this errand. So they swam and they swam until they reached the land, and they didn't really know what they were looking for because, he didn't come to the party. So when they got closer, they saw this one little lone figure on the edge of the water, and he was kind of all by himself dancing there. So they went up and they said, "We're looking for the fox. Do you know where he is?" So of course the fox, being the fox, says, "Yes, well, you want to look for the creature dancing all by himself where the water meets the land." Oh, okay, where the water meets the land, creature dancing by himself. Okay, they start to swim away, and then they're like, "Hey, wait a minute." I told you, they weren't the smartest too. They come back and they say, "That's you." And he says, "Yeah, you got me. I'm the fox. What do you need?" They said, "Well, the Leviathan sent us to come and get you. He wants to invite you to the sea palace. He wants you to be his assistant. You will never have to hunt again. You'll never have to worry about where your next meal is coming from. Come to the sea palace. Come live with us." Okay, sounded pretty good, but he said, "I can't swim. How am I going to get there?" They said, "No problem. Just climb on our backs and we'll swim you there." Okay, so he climbs onto their backs and they start swimming. And they're swimming, and they're swimming, and the land is way off in the distance. The fox starts to get, a little creepy feeling, and he says, "Now that you have me where you want me, tell me what this is really about. What's really going on?" And they said, "Yeah, we got you. They told us you were so clever, but I guess you aren't. The Leviathan doesn't want to invite you to a feast. You are the feast. He is going to eat your heart, and he's going to have all of your cleverness." And that's where the story, I'm going to end it. So if you think you know how the fox gets out of this sticky situation, I hope you'll share it with me. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you again so much for having me.
Shabbat Shalom. It's a cliffhanger.
I think as a aerospace engineer, Rabbi Lutz will figure this out for us.
I don't know how sly would be sly like the fox. We do invite you to come out afterwards and share your ending of the story, or email us, and maybe we'll figure out a way to share those on social media or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
If you're in the chat, I guess you could write it in the chat.
You could write it in the chat too.
Don't give it away too much though, right? Yeah.
Well, on that note,
Thank you, Jordana.
thank you very much. We are going to continue with our concluding prayers for the service.
We are.
We are. The Aleinu is found on, I don't know where my
Page
Siddur went.
282.
282. We invite you to rise in body or spirit.
If you do have names for Kaddish, please begin to write them into the chats now if you are attending virtually. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula leotzer breshit, shehu noteh shamayim ve'osed haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim b'ma'al, u'shchina tuzo b'govei meromim, hu Eloheinu einod, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך
מלכי המלכים,
הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
You may be seated. We take this moment to invite in the memories of those who came before us, those who paved the path for all of us to be here, this moment of Kaddish, of memory. In a moment, we'll invite you to remember, to invite in the memories of anyone who you are in a period of mourning for, someone who passed in recent days, or if this is the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one. We'll invite you to share their memory with us, that you might bless our community with their memory. So first, the congregation remembers Carol Kravitz, Yehudit Nissenbaum, Mariam Aras Tuzadeh, Harry Pat Gordon, Howard Thorpe, Aaron Silverhart, Alice Fletcher. And if you are in a period of mourning here in the congregation, we invite you now to share the name of your loved one with us. And we add to those names the list on the screen.
In addition, those online, Maria Jose de Cruz Cavalcanti, Elaine Gold, Mike Dale, Sydney Klein.
We invite you to rise in body or spirit and turn to page 294 as we together recite the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Dalmiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru. Amen. We say, Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for an abiding blessing. You may be seated.
I think we are going to, before we do temple announcements, just invite Sue Brucker up, past president, board member, URJ board member. That's our Union for Reform Judaism, and the chair of the URJ 6 Points West, and just a camp advocate all around. You can take your mask off for a moment just so people can see you.
Yeah. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
So, Jewish camping, overnight camp, I think is one of the best things that any parent or grandparent can give as a gift to their children or grandchildren. Both of our kids went to Camp Newman along with Cantor Weiss, and it was magical for them. And for my daughter, she has a friend who was in her wedding as well, like you, Rabbi Lutz. The thing that I do want to emphasize is one of the very, very good things of many that the URJ, the Union for Reform Judaism, does well is overnight camp. And of that, our specialty camps, which I sit on as a chair for 6 Points West, and on the board for Camp Newman as well. It is so special, no pun intended, but it is extremely rare that some kids don't want to go away to like just a general camp, but they want to find a camp that really solidifies who they are at the core and everything. And as Danny was alluding to, for sports and for athletes, it's our URJ 6 Point Sports Camp. And for the kids who are really invested into science and technology, we've got 6 Points West, which holds SciTech, as well as those who really enjoy performing arts. 6 Points, through 6 Points West, we have our performing track. So if you want to give your kids a lasting, long life way to enhance their Judaism and meld it with a really amazing summer experience, then it's one of our URJ sports or SciTech or performing arts or any of the other camps as well. So with that, that's my camp plug.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Sue.
Sue.
A good one at that. I wish I could just stand here and talk about camp all day. But I am going to talk about some events at Temple Emanuel, and I really want to say that we want to encourage you to come in person. It's hard.
Yeah.
People want to stay at home in their
cozy.
pajamas.
It's comfy.
It is comfy, but you don't feel the energy the same way.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you know, Michelle is here. I'm looking, she's dancing back there. Come feel the energy in the sanctuary. Fill up the space. If everybody who was online, except for those who live all over the country, we very much value your viewership. But if you live in Los Angeles, come and
Well, I'll tell you
join
what,
us.
even if you don't want to get out of your pajamas,
Yep.
you can come in your pajamas.
It's a good point. So a couple things. Tomorrow night, you might be cold in your pajamas, but you can join us at Temple Beth Am for the Kol Tefillah concert. This lineup, if you knew Jewish music, Alana Arian and Chava Morel and Josh Rashowski and Deborah Sachs, I mean, this is the A-list.
The A-list, A-plus
Very
list.
much A-plus list. So join it. Wait, let's put that up one more time. Sorry, there's a cup. You can go to tbh.org/SSU. This is one of our Sacred Sounds Unbound partnerships with Temple Beth Am. It will be outside. It will be safe. So please join us. It will be worth it to feel their energy of all of those artists playing together in collaboration. There is nothing like it.
No.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
I get to sing a little bit too, just a teeny.
So even better, you get to hear Cantor Weiss. Come. So we are also going.
What time is it?
Oh.
What time is it? At 7 o'clock, I believe.
Let's put the slide back
Let's
up for
put
one
the-
more second. We're gonna, yeah. It is
It's
tomorrow.
Sorry,
It's tomorrow.
did I not say tomorrow?
Yeah, it's
Tomorrow
tomorrow.
night, February 12th.
Oh.
At 7 p.m. Thank you. I can't even read it from here. All right. And if that is not enough,
The Hebrew Hillbilly
it's going to be here
is going to be here in this sanctuary.
Wow.
You should come February 19th
That's a
at
week
7
from
p.m.
tomorrow night.
You
Yes.
can RSVP and let us know that you'd like to come. tebh.org/hillbilly.
You will never see anything like this.
You will not.
It's going to be exciting. All right, let's do this quick. Rabbi Aaron's new class, Tune In Torah, has been super successful. Every Thursday, 12 o'clock. This is a beginner Torah series, whereas Saturday goes really in depth, line by line, Hebrew roots, stuff like that. This will give you a biblical history.
If you were ever intimidated about Torah study and you want to learn how to study Torah from basics, Tune In Torah, you should come.
Tune
it's
In
great.
Torah. There we go. There is my face. A week from Tuesday. Is that a week from Tuesday already?
The 22nd? I'm
The
not sure.
22nd. Please, I am super excited. I have piano, I have violin for this house concert, private concert. You do have to RSVP. Come come be with me.
You can hear Cantor Weiss sing
You will
on a
hear
Tuesday.
me sing, but I just would love to feel the energy of a live group of people in the room. We will live stream, but pretend that we're not and show up instead. All right, and one more thing.
One more plug.
Actually, there's two more. Wait,
two more,
before you
okay,
do that.
yep.
One more thing, and I don't know if Margaret can pull up the slide quite yet, but a week from Sunday, Building Your Girlfriend Team is a sisterhood event at 11:30, also at a private residence that you have to RSVP for. The sisterhood has created an event every last Sunday of the month through June, around 11:30. This one is going to be super fun. So yeah. Sunday, February 27th at 11:30 a.m. Oh,
There
look
it
at
is.
that. There we go. Building Your Girlfriend Team. Learn about the neuroscience of why women seek friendships. I will have to say, there's a lot of women, men things here. We are really actually exploring the science behind some of these, and it is how if you identify as a woman or as a man, this is on the website. You can find out more information. So visit it, and then hold the date for the last Sundays of March, April, May, and June, too.
And then
Okay.
one more final plug for camp. We know, as Jordana mentioned, camp can sometimes be expensive. We do have scholarships available at the temple for any students who want to go to camp. We want to make sure that we can make that possible and that finances are not.
And also, there are fellowships new this year for older campers.
Oh, and new fellowships for older new fellowships for older campers, and it does help build your college resume.
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
We want to make sure that finances are never the thing that stand in between a camper, a potential camper, and going to camp. So please email me or Cantor Weiss or Rabbi Aaron or Rabbi Bassin if you're interested and you need a little help.
And I'm just going to answer a question, which is that tomorrow night's concert will be streamed, but you do have to purchase tickets. So again, visit that link and you'll see there's an in-person option or a streaming option. It won't be just for public consumption, however.
Great.
Thank you. Bill, as I was singing tonight and I was like reflecting on, I don't even know what accompanied me at camp. Maybe a guitar, I have no idea. But Bill just brings it to life, and thank you, Bill. I want to thank Margaret in the back, who ran our sound and audio visual, and Clay too. And Matt, our executive director in the back. If you don't know him, please go give him an elbow, what do you call it? Whatever, hi. And Adrian, and thank you to Robert, who's outside. Just thank you, everybody.
That's it.
All right, Osei Shalom.
We can't end without a song and a prayer for peace.
Exactly. I just want to say, if you're in the room and you feel comfortable, put your arm around someone, feel that energy.
Touch elbows.
Or touch elbows. Osei Shalom B'Romah. Say Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru, Amen. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. See you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
That's right.
here.